Beginning in mountain pose, Tadasana. Taking a few breaths here, bringing the hands to your heart center. Centering yourself before moving into the sun salutations A. Inhale, reaching up, looking skywards. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthening the back. Exhale, stepping back, high plank to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, moving the hips back to downward dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. 5 breaths here. Lowering the heels towards the floor. On the inhale, we'll be stepping the left foot, then the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, coming up. Exhale. Inhale, facing upwards, arching the back slightly. Exhale, folding from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, stepping back, lowering to Chaturanga. Upward dog, hips back, downward dog. Walk the dog, bending the knees, alternating the knees. 5 breaths here. Surya Namaskar, Sun Salutation A. Ashtanga Yoga. On the inhale, stepping the left and the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, reaching up again. Exhale, folding forward from the hips. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, coming back. High plank to Chaturanga. Upward facing dog to downward Adho Mukha Svanasana. Alternating, bending each knee. 5 breaths. Lengthening the spine, increasing the space between the vertebrae, and on the inhale, stepping forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, coming up to center. Exhale, back. Inhale, reaching the arms skywards. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, stepping backwards, high plank to Chaturanga. Upward facing dog to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Slow, deep breaths. Pushing through the palms, tractioning the spine. On the inhale, stepping forward. And on the exhale, deepening the fold. On the inhale, coming back up to center. Exhale, the arms down. Inhale, reaching the arms up, looking upwards. And folding forward. Exhale, slowly lowering down. Inhale, coming upwards to upward dog and back to downward dog. Slow, deep breathing. Inhale, stepping forward. And back to center. Taking the feet about hips width apart. Surya Namaskar B. Inhaling, bending the knees, chair pose. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, lengthening, stepping backwards on the exhale, lowering down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. We're moving straight into warrior, so stepping the right foot forward, warrior 1, lifting up and coming back down on the exhale. Lowering on the exhale, inhale, rising up. Exhale, downward dog, stepping the opposite foot forward, reaching up to warrior 1 and lowering back down. A lunge, coming back to high plank, lowering down. Upward dog and downward dog. Resting in downward dog for 5 breaths. Increasing the space between the fingers. lengthening the spine, lowering the heels. Surya Namaskar, Sun Salutation B of the Ashtanga series, stepping forwards, forward fold. Bending the knees, coming upwards chair, Utkatasana, and back to Tadasana mountain. Entering the next one, inhale chair, exhale forward fold. Inhale lengthening, exhale stepping back, high plank. A push-up movement to upward dog and to downward dog. Stepping into warrior one, stepping the left foot forward to the top of the mat, warrior one, bringing the hands to each side of the foot, lowering back down. Upward dog to downward dog, stepping the opposite foot to the top of the mat in between the hands, pushing the hands up to warrior one and lowering back down on the exhale. Inhale upward dog, exhale to Adho Mukha Svanasana, 5 breaths. So we do 5 of Surya Namaskar A and 5 of Surya Namaskar B. So this is number 2. In the Ashtanga series. Inhale, stepping forward, bending the knees, Utkatasana chair, reaching up, looking up, and exhale down. Inhale again, number 3. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, stepping back. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, hips coming backwards. Inhale, the left foot forward, pushing. You can use those hands to push up off the thigh. Warrior one. Exhale down. Feeling that spinal flexibility with the flexion and extension movement. Exhale down. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, resting in downward dog. Downward dog becomes more of a resting posture as we become more dynamic in the flow. Slowing the breath, feeling the heart rate increase slightly. 2 more to go after this. Inhale, stepping forward, deepening the pose, coming to Utkatasana chair. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lowering into the fold. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, stepping back. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, release. Lowering down. Inhale, upward dog. Down dog. Warrior one again. And release. Downward dog for 5 breaths. Now we're going to be doing one more. I'll let you practice this at your own pace with minimal instruction so that I'm not going against your natural rhythm or timing. Using the video for guidance. You all have practiced these before, so I know that you are familiar. Listening to the breath. Holding for 5 breaths, holding the posture, not your breath. And stepping forward. Inhale, coming to chair, and exhale back to center. Taking a few breaths, letting the heart rate slow down a bit. Excuse me. Coming back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Balancing the weight between both feet. Finding your center. Shoulder blades back and down. Finding your drishti or gazing point. And closing your eyes altogether. Inhale, we're going to look up, arching the spine as far back as comfortable. Exhale, folding forward from the hips. Uttanasana, forward fold, using the first two fingers to grab the big toe for leverage. Introducing a healthy bend into the knees, lengthening the spine. 5 breaths in each posture is traditional for Ashtanga. And then we're going to be placing our fingers and palms under our feet, palms facing up, so the toes will be coming to the edge of the palm of the hand. Exhale down. 5 breaths here. Inhale, coming out of the posture and back to mountain pose. Facing forward, bringing the legs out till about, if you raise your arms, it'll be about to the wrist. Trikonasana, so we're lowering the left hand down the left side of the leg, looking up at that right hand. And coming back to center, pointing the opposite foot, bringing the back foot in slightly, lowering the right hand down the right side of the leg till as far as you can go. Looking up towards the opposite hand, towards that thumb, drishti. Inhale to come out of the pose. And exhale the opposite hand down, revolved triangle. Introducing some spinal twist into the movement. Inhale back to center. And exhale the left hand down to the right foot, either along the leg or to the floor. The right hand up towards the sky, looking up towards that right thumb. Inhale back to center. And bringing the feet back apart. Keeping that left toe pointed outwards and bending that left knee to a 90-degree angle before lowering the torso down. Keeping that left hand on the inside of the foot, entering the spinal twist. Inhale, coming back up to center. And exhale, lowering down over the right side, keeping that right knee bent at a 90-degree angle from the floor. Inhale to come out. Again, this is Ashtanga, and so it is a more advanced yoga practice. Follow your own intuition when doing these practices and listen to your body. Inhale, entering an arch with the feet apart, forward wide leg, forward fold, lowering our palms down onto the floor. Feet both facing forward. If you're able, you can lower your head down to the floor. Otherwise, just keep your arms extended. Don't forget to breathe. And inhale, contracting the core, coming up to center. Hands to hips, entering a slight back bend, looking up. Exhale, folding forward from the hips. Forward fold. Keeping the hands on the hips. letting the natural pull of gravity, feeling the natural pull of gravity downwards. Inhale, coming up to center. And then interlacing the fingers behind you, arching the back, looking up. Exhale, folding forward, keeping the hands intertwined at the back. Feeling the stretch between the shoulder blades. Lowering the head down. 5 breaths in each posture. Inhale, pulling the shoulders back and up. Inhale, last stretch, hands on hips, lowering down, grab, using the first 2 fingers to grab the big toe for leverage. Pulling the torso forward. You may feel tight, but you don't want to feel any pain, so be careful. This is contraindicated if you have back problems, sciatica, any disc issues, herniated disc. So just be mindful and conscious that this is a more advanced practice. So you may be skipping postures altogether, but this is a beginner Ashtanga introduction. Bringing the hands to prayer behind your back, entering a slight back bend, looking up. The feet are both pointing forwards with a little more than hip widths apart, pointing forward. And exhale, lowering down into a forward fold. Bending the knees slightly. Inhale, coming up. Switching sides, pointing the feet in the opposite direction. Looking up, a slight back bend. Exhale, coming forward. 5 breaths. Finding your drishti or gazing point in front of you. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, back to center. Shake it out. And grabbing that toe with your first 2 fingers, big toe. Bringing the foot up towards the hip. Finding your balance. Extending the foot in front of you. Bending the knee of the standing leg if you need to. And bringing the leg out to the side. Using a wall for support, you might need to bend the knee of the foot that you're holding, the leg that you're holding. Coming back to center. Holding the leg out without any support. 5 breaths right out in front. Exhale. Great job. Take a few breaths onto yourself, grabbing the toe with the first 2 fingers of the left hand, the left toe, bringing the foot up towards the hip. Inhale, extending the foot out in front. 5 breaths. Extending the foot out to the side. And the foot in front. Releasing. And coming back to center. And bringing the foot up into the groin area of the opposite leg. And bringing the arm behind you. Grabbing that opposite arm. You can also bring it all the way around to grasp the hand or the foot if you can, and then coming forward into a forward fold. This is more advanced, so you might just stop the posture at grabbing the leg. Excuse me. Exhale, release. Inhale, bringing that left foot up into the crease of the hip of the right leg. Grasping that toe with the right hand and then bringing the opposite hand around to grab the arm or the foot. If you can, keeping those hands positioned there. If you can't, you can use them for support as you lower down into a forward fold. Inhale, coming back up to center. Bringing the legs as far as feels comfortable for you. Entering into Warrior Two. So both the front foot facing forward and the back foot slightly in. Looking over the front hand. Inhale, exhale, opposite side. The arms stretching equally in both directions. Exhale. Inhale, lifting upwards, Warrior One, looking skywards as well. The hips facing forwards versus in Warrior Two, the hips would be facing outwards more. And opposite side. Keeping the arms up, lowering down on the exhale, back to center. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Feet hips width apart, keeping the knees bent, looking upwards, looking skywards, reaching up. And exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Extending the spine, stepping back, Chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog and exhale, bending the knees. Stepping back, sitting into staff pose, coming onto our mats. Using the hands for leverage to lengthen the spine. So the hands will be next to each hip. Toes upwards, contracting the leg muscles slightly. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Grabbing the big toe with our first two fingers for leverage again. Inhale, lengthening, and exhale, deepening the forward fold. Breathing into the posture, bending the knees slightly if necessary. Inhale back to staff. Bringing the arms behind you, fingers facing forward, lifting the spine, letting the head fall back naturally, stretching the front of the body, letting the toes point forwards. Lowering the hips back to a seated position. And then bringing that, bending that right knee, bringing the right foot into the crease of the left hip. Bringing the right hand behind the back to grasp the left arm, the crotch of the left arm, and release back to center. Bringing the left foot up into the crease of that side, and again, reaching the arm around the back. And release. Bringing the right foot up into the outside of the right hip and grasping the opposite foot with the left hand. Now these postures are more advanced. They may take some time to learn, so please do the video more than once. Folding the left foot into the opposite outside of the left hip. Grasping the extended toe with the right hand. The toe of the extended leg. Inhale back up to center. And bringing the insole of the right foot into the inner area of the left thigh. Janu Shirshasana A, coming forward and grasping the left foot. 5 breaths here. You can also grasp the left shin. Inhale, coming back up, lengthening both legs. Exhale, bringing the insole of the left foot up into the inner right thigh. Grasping the right foot, lowering down, forward fold, 5 breaths. Inhale back up to center. And doing the opposite side again. This time you're actually putting the heel into the perineum a little bit. Janu Shirshasana B. And this is also the posture you would practice Mahamudra in. So where you're contracting the perineum and the different mudras of the body. But that's a more advanced posture. So we won't actually go into that too much here. But just so you know that. 5 breaths here, coming out, and then bending the left foot up into the perineum area, so a little bit further into the underneath your sit muscles, kind of pushing your foot into it, like as if you're sitting in easy pose, activating Muladhara chakra. And then bringing the soles of the feet together to a butterfly pose. You can grasp both feet with both hands, and you can also use your elbows to help intensify the stretch and to push your knees down. Inhale back to center, entering the tortoise pose. Gormukasana. Inhale, coming up and bending the left foot, bringing it under bending the right leg and bringing the right foot underneath the left hip, bringing that left foot alongside the right knee, and entering the twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Inhale back to center, unfurling the legs, bending the right leg, bending the left leg at the base of the posture, and bending the right leg over top, twisting to the right, using the right leg as leverage. And exhale, and coming out of your spinal twist. And coming into a squat posture. Bringing the hands to the heart center, the elbows to each knee, lowering the heels. You can also fold a blanket and put your squat on top of the blanket with your heels if you can't lower them all the way. And this is an advanced posture, so you don't feel like you have to move into this, but if you want to experiment with balancing your knees on top of your elbows as you come into the beginning inverted posture. Coming back up. And now we'll be entering a handstand. So do not do this unless you've practiced this before, using a wall for support. So again, this is only if you've practiced this before. You can try a handstand, so you're stepping into it. Holding for 5 breaths and releasing. And Janu Shirsasana, this is an example of headstand using a wall for support. So interlacing the fingers, bringing the forearms to the floor, placing the head there using a towel. And again, only do this if you've done this practice before. Janu Shirsasana, this is to demonstrate inversions, using the wall for support. You can also do a headstand with your hands. You may have learned that way. So with your hands flat on the floor rather than your forearms. But this helps to support the head. Only for students who have practiced this at previous times, more advanced postures. Coming down onto our backs, lowering down slowly, using the hands and arms for support. Inhale, bringing the hips, the feet over the head, and the hips perpendicular. Interlacing the fingers, coming onto the shoulders slightly, bending the legs. And this is contraindicated if you have back problems, shoulder stand. So you'll be supporting your lower back, looking up at your toes. And this is a demonstration of a more advanced inversion. And letting the blood flow down from the feet, improving lymph flow. You can also extend the space between the toes. And then again, just demonstrating an inversion in the Ashtanga series. You're going to be coming into lotus posture as you're in shoulder stand. Again, this is for people who have practiced Ashtanga yoga in the past or previously. 5 breaths, lowering the knees down. And coming onto the tip of the head. The forearms flat, arching the spine. The feet are in easy pose. This is to demonstrate Ashtanga primary series. Exhale, release. Bringing both heels into the buttocks to prepare for bridge pose. Inhale, entering bridge pose, lifting the hips, arching the spine, interlacing the fingers underneath. You may come up onto the shoulders slightly, Vidhu Sarvangasana. And then finally, wheel pose for more advanced students and practitioners. The palms of the hands next to both ears. Take a breath or two. On the exhale, you're going to be lifting up into wheel pose. So a bridge. You may come up onto the toes. And exhale, lowering out of the posture. Taking a few breaths, center yourself again. And on the exhale, coming back into wheel. Exhale, coming out. Just keeping that spine fluid and flexible as much as possible. And finally, ending with Shavasana. This wasn't the whole series, but it's just an introduction. Feel free to explore on your own the Ashtanga sequence further by Patabi Joyce. And finally, just taking a moment to move inwards, feeling the support of the earth. Observing the breath, the body, the mind. And starting at the toes, releasing the toes and the feet. Releasing the muscles of the ankles, front and back of the thighs, the front and backs of the knees. Releasing the muscles of the thighs and the hips, the sacrum. Releasing the muscles around the abdomen. And the chest region, the lower, mid, and upper back, the shoulders, the neck. Releasing your jaw, releasing the muscles in the face, your temple, top of the head. And just using the breath to gently release any tightness or tension and enter into a more fuller state of relaxation. Feeling a freer flow of prana. Any psychic or physical knots may have been unknotted, released. And just taking the last few minutes of this class to listen to your body and your breath. Feeling the effects of the practice, which may have been more vigorous than usual, with the focus on inversions, which help again to promote the free flow of energy or prana throughout the body. Feeling the breath slow down as you become more relaxed. Maybe noticing a pause between the inhale and the exhale. Or a pause between the exhale and the inhale. And just listening and watching non-judgmentally. And slowly coming out of the posture. Thank you for your time. Coming into an upright seated position, possibly easy pose or thunderbolt pose. If that's more comfortable. Bringing your hands to a mudra, chin mudra, the thumb and the first finger touching and the other finger is extended out. Just ending in a brief meditation, breath awareness. And giving thanks to our bodies for carrying us through. Thank you. Namaste.